So it's noisy where you are and you want to record voiceover? Here's 7 tips to deal with it. Number 1 is to listen to what your mic actually picks up. You might not realize what your mic is and isn't picking up, so just record a sample, play it back. You'll really be able to tell that, your neighbor's footstep 3 doors down, it picked up, and you gotta re-record. So number 1 is just to figure out the problem in the first place, see how much you have to cut down on the noise around you. Number 2, use a closet. Use a room within a room. It doesn't have to be a closet. It could be a pantry. It could be a laundry room, whatever you have that's the most sheltered from outside noise. But just remember with this tip that the smaller isn't better. You're not trying to get the smallest space you have. That's a mistake because you run into other issues like the recording sounding more boxy. That's not what you want. So if you have a large walk-in closet, that might be one of the better situations that you can have. If you don't, my closet is not large and not walk-in. I'm currently sitting in it and it's quite small and cramped, but this is the closet that I have to deal with. So if that's the closet you have to deal with, then so be it. You'll make it work. Number 3, more soft padding. Soft. This is a very warm blanket, too warm to be here in LA. Whatever kind of soft material you have, pillows, blankets, clothes, sheets, anything that's soft and has fabric will work. Soft material helps eliminate the reflections in the room. The problem with large noise, you might even hear it in this video, that as my voice is speaking, the sound waves are going back and forth and back and forth. The soft material helps to cut that down and makes a more dead, neutral sound that you'll want in voiceover. Now note that if you just treat the inside of like a closet or your pantry or wherever you are, that might not help with noise outside the room from getting in. That will mostly treat the space within that you're recording in. So your voice will sound more dead. But you also need to think about the exterior room. If you have a dedicated room, that's the best case scenario because you can put up blankets and it will be ugly, but it will sound better. It will make your recordings better. So if that's your priority, then you should definitely take a look at making every area you can see as soft as possible. Number 4, this is not ideal, but if you can, record at an off-peak time. If it's a critical recording that you have to do and there's a deadline or something, or you're just an early riser or a night owl, then this might be a good option, especially if your environment is so noisy, if you're in a city or wherever you are that makes so much noise during the day, during normal business hours, then think about other time periods where you can work during a day and have that quiet. It's still important to get sleep, so please prioritize your health. For one, you're not going to sound great if you're exhausted, that you need to keep your voice and health in great shape. Another thing is that this might not be the best option if you're doing loud, like video game or animation, yelling or screaming or grunts or noises. You might have neighbors. People might call the police. I don't know. Have common sense about it. And if you're going to be yelling a lot, please do what you can to not make the neighbors angry. Please. Number 5 is get a mic with a tighter puller pattern. It's a pretty dorky way to say that if you don't know what a puller pattern is, it's basically where a mic picks up its sound the most. All right, so a mic like the one I'm using, the Sennheiser MKH416, has a very tight, focused beam of picking up what's right in front of it. Like if I go here, it can pick me up. And if I go back here, it can still pick me up. But if I go off axis, it can't. You see what I mean? But there's other mics like the Neumann TLM103, the Rode NT1A, the Audio-Technica AT2020. These have a wider pickup pattern, a cardioid pattern. So with those mics, they pick up more of the room. So if you have a less than ideal environment, they're going to pick up a lot more. If you have a neighbor, when I was recording with my cardioid pattern mic, it would pick up like my neighbor's footstep, like, and any little thing that was going on in where I was recording was being picked up. And I was like, what is happening? This is so annoying. So I researched it And I found out that the pattern of the mic was not ideal. So I really recommend that you look at a supercardioid or a hypercardioid pattern mic, like the Sennheiser that I have. I'm not saying that this is a perfect mic. It still picks up noise if there's noise around, but it picks up less noise, and it's one less thing to worry about. It's really helped me in my recordings, and it might help you too. Number 6, if you can't avoid it, just wait. Just wait till the noise is gone. If there's a plane or a train or a neighbor, just wait till they're done doing their thing for a few seconds. It's probably not going to be forever. It's annoying. It adds time to being in the booth. Even if you do like a pro level like Studio Bricks or a Whisper Room, if you get one of those and you're like, I'm set, you might not be set. If a loud plane is flying overhead, you still will probably hear it in one of those booths, okay? So there's no like perfect solution, and sometimes the best thing you can do is just to wait it out. Number 7 is if you have neighbors that are loud, if that's the main reason why you have problems, first figure out their pattern. Figure out if it is a pattern, if they only party, if they're like loud on Friday and Saturday nights because they get off work then and they want to party, then you might have to, rethink when you can record and when you can't. If they're partying every night or you don't know when and it's sporadic, that might be a time where you should approach them or approach management or however in your circumstance would be the best, and just be friendly and say, hey, I don't mind that you guys are partying. I get it. Just so you know, I do voiceover. I record audio sometimes. So I'm just trying to figure out what the best scenario for each of us is. I'm just trying to figure out if we can work something out, or a time where I can be recording that doesn't bother you. Approach it in a very friendly way, and that will help. It's best if you can be on good terms with your neighbors. I'll say that. A bonus tip, number 8. If all else fails, if it's so loud and you can't record, you might have to go somewhere else. I know, it sucks, but you might have to. Look, in a pinch, you can go in your car. You can drive somewhere in nature and record if it's quiet there. Maybe you can call up your friend and say, hey, friend, can I borrow your closet? It's kind of a weird thing to ask, but hey, I might need your closet for... Don't ask it like that. But, of course, the greatest situation is if you're in a proper recording studio. Then forget all these other tips. Just go to the studio. If you can afford it, and if it makes sense, if you're being paid to do it, then definitely go there, because that is a place that is built for recording sound. They know how to do it. These are just tips to help you DIY yourself into better voiceover recordings at home. Recording in a noisy place when you have important voiceover projects and auditions to record, it sucks. It sucks. But it's something we all have to deal with. So I hope these tips helped you in some way. If you have your own tips, please leave them in the comments below for me and for everyone else to see. And of course, if you can share and like and comment and subscribe with the bell notification, and just leave a comment about what other topics you want to see covered on this channel. I'm really interested in a dialogue, and I want to hear what you guys are interested in, and I want to hear what you guys are struggling with and what you're thinking about. So thank you so much for watching. Take care and be well. Actually, this looks pretty good. Maybe I'll have to make smoothies and record voiceover more often.